But you know what? I'm a man though, right? I'm a man at the end of the day, right? And I'm going to say that everything Jimmy said was right. Deontay Wilder he resorted to his old self. He ran out of gas. Uh, you know what's crazy though?
What's
Like I
that?
said earlier, like and you know, like I got a chance to sit next to Coach Shaun while we was driving in the car, and I explained to him why I'm so even when we was watching the fights that we went to go see, I was real critical on these fighters because at the end of the day, man, you got and this just hear me out. At the at the end of the day, man, I don't know who advising these guys to go pro, but these guys is not ready for pro. If you 1-0, you'll lose your O within your 10th fight. The way that these guys is going pro now, and they don't have a skill. So it's actually making of a bad division when you get up later on, when you get up and you get up in the ranks, is making of a bad division because everybody is not good. They just rushing these fighters. That's why I'm so critical on Tyson Fury. I don't think Tyson Fury is good. I think he's the best of a bad division in heavyweight boxing. He looks good because he looks good to a bunch of guys that can't fight. But if you sit there and you watch him, he's a fat, sloppy goofball. All he do, okay, you can beat Deontay Wilder. That's because everybody has somebody number. Tarver had Roy Jones' number. Tarver couldn't beat a lot of people. He struggled with Coffee. He struggled with Coyote. He struggled with another Philly ball. And he struggled, but he can beat Roy. Wilder is a one-trick pony, and he just look good. He just don't have it. He's a fat, sloppy goofball. All he do is throw a 1-2-3 and grab you and put the 277 on you and tire you out. That's all he did to Wilder the whole fight, which was a great game plan to win the fight because you wore him out. You got him tired. I understand that. But as far as pure boxing skills, I don't think Tyson Fury is that guy.
Hey, time out. I'm gonna let you finish that is in the comments.
Say something. Can I say something about to the guy? I think his name Tamir_215. So he said, y'all got to talk about the counts on the two Wilder knockdowns. They gave Fury way too much time to get up or whatever that was suspect. But what a lot of people don't know is that like when fighters don't go to the white corner, they hurt themselves because a lot of the commissions, it's the rule. The referee can legally stop the count if you're not in the corner. You know, fighters they knock somebody down, they wanna jump up on the ropes, jump up in the corner. You're hurting yourself. Get to the corner. You ain't did nothing but knock them down. Wait till if the ref count them out or wave it off, then do all the foolishness. But once you knock your opponent down, you gotta keep it professional. Go to the corner because you may hurt yourself. Me personally, I'm not even gonna act like any seconds really mattered in that fight because it didn't. One thing, and I don't remember. I think I told you this, Briz, when we was talking. The thing that I would have focused on if I was Malik, his who trained him, it wouldn't have been his offense because what everybody got to remember, whether Deontay Wilder can jab, throw a clean right hand or not, this guy was on a talented Olympic team, and he's the only one that won a medal. This guy with that same ugly offense, this guy became world champion, heavyweight champion at that, right?
Right.
And defended his title multiple times and won. So offense was the last thing I would have worried about. I would have worried about Deontay Wilder defense. Deontay Wilder has no defense. When Deontay Wilder get hit, his feet go crazy. Most of the time, his feet end up being side by side. His defense is sticking both his arms out, throwing his head back. That's not going to work.
Right.
You have a better chance of learning defense in a couple months than learning offense in a couple months, right? The defense is a little easier to teach, right? Because once you're in the ring, when it comes to sparring and stuff, you can do rounds where you only work defense, right? That's preparing you mentally for when this man jump on your hind parts, you still being able to do what you have to do defensively. You know, football have a saying: offense win games, defense win championships.
Right, right.
If you hit and I hit you, guess what? We still even. I hit you twice, you hit me twice. Guess what? We still even, right? Deontay Wilder have no defense, none at all.
None.
None. He has no defense. He has offense. He have no defense at all. Bottom line. That's been the focus in training camp and before training camp. Dude, let's give you defense, because when you get hit, why your feet go side by side? Why your feet go crazy? Like, are you trying to run out the way, or what's going on? You know, and his only upper body defensive move is sticking his arm straight out and throwing his head straight back, which we all know. You throw your head straight back, guess what? You gotta come back forward.
Yeah, but see,
come back forward.
He think that because he has long arms, that if he do that, he's pushing the fighter back, and when he lean his head back, the hook won't reach.
Them straight punches. Listen, that's another thing.
DJ.
Yeah, I just sent him an invite.
That's another thing. A lot of guys focus on like the hooks and the uppercuts and all them. You know, they great. They nice, right? But for real, if you're doing what you're supposed to do in the ring, you should be able to keep that man off of you with straight punches.
Right.
If I throw hooks and I throw uppercuts and I'm throwing body shots, those are inside punches. The odds of me getting hit is the same as me hitting you, right? But if I use my distance, my range, you know, and a lot of time when you go in these gyms, look at the fighters when they're on the bags. All they gotta do is stick their hand out. They're not even practicing range. Every time you get on them bags, you're supposed to practice with something. Step back off that bag, man. They don't do it, right?
And
that's why fighters don't have range.
And another thing that I was talking about yesterday, right? Another thing that I was talking about when me and Coach Shaun was together, like a lot of these guys, man, they falling in love with this treadmill, man. Like the treadmill is the worst form of running when you're a fighter, because
I always prefer roll work.
No matter how it is in a gym, every time you run on a treadmill in a gym, you're going to breathe that type of air. When you fighting in a different altitude, that treadmill, that you can run on a treadmill for 2 hours. But when you fight somewhere where the altitude is high and your lungs don't adjust to what's going on, you're going to gas in the third round.
Well, or not to interrupt you, jump roping is another thing that you can do as well. A lot of fighters don't like to jump rope, and a lot of other things that they don't like to do is shadow box.
Well,
shadow box is key too.
Well, what I'm saying, DJ, is you're breathing. Now, jump rope is cool, but if you jump roping inside of a gym, how are you going to build your lungs up if you fighting for 12 rounds? Like if you out like in a different atmosphere, a different altitude.
I mean, yeah. Well, run. I mean, you do have to run, but like for me, right? I have shot knees, but I still could give you 8 rounds, because what I normally do is I'll go outside and I'll still run my sprints.
That's what
you
I'm
gotta
saying.
run.
But
okay,
you running outside where you're getting air in your lungs. In a gym, you're not getting air in your lungs. You just getting your legs tired. And then you just feel as though that, okay, today I ran for 30 minutes, tomorrow I'm gonna run for 40 minutes on a treadmill. You didn't really do nothing, because when you get in that ring, your breathing has to be right. You got to control your breathing. Deontay Wilder was gassed by the 3rd round.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why he was gassed. I can tell you why he was gassed. For one, you know, I told you, like, if you're a fighter, a lot of these fighters, when have you ever known a fighter to knock out somebody with just the jab? He was throwing a lot of stiff jabs, and what he should have did, if you was going to throw downstairs, you should have came upstairs with the jab to come out of it. And when I seen the way he was throwing that jab to just stab him with the jab, I said, he getting knocked out again. As soon as I seen how he was throwing the jab in that 1st round, I said, he getting knocked out again.
Well, he when he was throwing the jab, he was giving up his height. He was giving up his height.
Too low.
But that's what I say. But that's what I said, Briz. If you throw a jab downstairs, how are you coming up out of that without throwing a jab to come upstairs? You can't just throw a jab downstairs and leave yourself defenseless.
You're right, but he was throwing the jab with his knockout hand.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So you know he didn't have nothing. He didn't have nothing to come back on neither.
I mean, listen, man, we all.
Like Darnell said that Fury was laying on him early. He was, because you wasn't giving him nothing. You wasn't hurting him. I mean, Fury's a fat slob, man. He's a goofball, man. He's a slob. He's not a good heavyweight.
I mean, but you can't take away the fact that he can box, though.
I don't think he can box.
I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah, I see that Darnell Boone in the comments, right? Y'all know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
yeah, we follow each other.
I agree with Briz and Sibbie know, like, I'm real critical of fighters, right? I'm real critical of fighters, because I feel like once you make it to that professional level, it's certain things you should already have. You know, it's certain things you should be doing. I definitely believe that Tyson Fury, I believe his boxing skills, they're okay. I don't feel like he has great boxing skills. I had this conversation with Dorset recently. I don't feel like Tyson Fury have great boxing skills. He is almost goofy. He is almost clumsy. However, the dudes that he's fighting with, they're worse than him.
He's the best of the bums.
Tyson Fury footwork. Tyson Fury footwork is novice footwork, right? But the guys he in the ring with don't have no footwork.
Right.
No, I don't know. I think I'd have to. Let me just say this. I don't like Fury, but what I can say is this: that in the era of heavyweights that we have now, Fury would be okay with the other guys. Now, would he be a factor in the top or the best? I wouldn't say he would be the factor, but he knows how to be elusive at times.
How can you say, listen, how can you say that? Hold up. How can you say he wouldn't be the best if he was in there with these other guys from back then?
Meaning, like, okay, we was in the 90s, and we was in the 90s, the 90s of heavyweights. I think Fury would still be in the top 20 heavyweights.
Top 20? It ain't no top 20. We giving him top 10.
Top 10. I would say.
Nah.
I think he would. I think he would be able to fight to get in the ranks of the ones. I mean, somebody said, "How you think he would do against a Razor Ruddock?" I think he would do a good against a Razor Ruddock. I think he would, because he's tall and he's elusive. Now he get in there with a Lennox Lewis, we got a whole nother problem. When he get in there with a Glitchko at a young Vladimir Glitchko, we might have a problem. But I think he would be okay.
But
I don't even think Vladimir Klitschko in the 90s cracked my top 10.
I think Fury would still be the Vladimir Klitschko.
He wouldn't be the Vitali.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh no.
And no, I'm not taking nothing away from Klitschko.
Boone said that he wouldn't. I don't know, man. I think, I mean, and I'm not trying to overtalk guys, but what I'm getting at is this, right? The two things that Fury has going for him is, number one, he's a tall fighter, and number two, he knows how to jab. That we gotta give him.
All right, let me ask you a question. What heavyweight in the 90s didn't know how to jab? They used fundamentals. They all knew how to jab.
Exactly.
Carter Truth Williams knew how to jab. That's all he was known for.
Hey, look.
Razor Ruddock knew how to jab. Mike couldn't jab great because he was short, but Mike had the other things.
Right.
And you know what? And
Lennox knew how to jab.
Yeah, I don't. It's gonna sound. It may not sound crazy, but the only reason why I think he would possibly be number 10 in the top 10 because he's a white guy. That's it. And people don't believe
Good
that.
point. No, yo, I gotta agree with you. I get this because they're eating it up right now. Listen, and I'm not being racist, but the white boys is eating it up. That Furious champion right now.
Hey DJ, hold up. Can I say this real quick?
Yeah.
Had that been Briz who made that same statement. That would have been me. Listen, I tried so hard. Listen, I tried so hard on this. Tried so hard on this podcast to not use white privilege as a factor, but it is. But
I mean, we definitely have to say that. I mean, truth be told, I mean, listen, to me, everybody said, oh, it was a great trilogy. I think it was the sloppiest heavyweight trilogy of all the heavyweight trilogies.
I think when it was great, I think it's just from an entertainment point of view. And the reason why I say that, even though this was probably the best, because Wilder was clearly losing. But the thing is, when he landed, sometimes when Fury react, it's like, oh shit, what's about to happen?
Let me ask you a question, right?
Me?
No, the podcast, the team.
All right.
Listen, you got Gaddy Ward, Trilogy. You got Marquez Vasquez, Trilogy. You got Holyfield Bowe, Trilogy. You got these two goofballs right here, Trilogy. Where do you they don't compare to the 4 trilogies I just named.
You can. Out of all the trilogies, I would say it was the sloppiest heavyweight trilogy of all.
Oh,
listen, the punches that Wilder got hit with was like club shots that put him down. They weren't solid punches. They were club shots. They were on the side of the head, and then he fell awkwardly. You know, even the way they fell when they got hit, it was awkward. They clumsy. Yeah, it was a sloppy. I mean, listen, I'm not saying it wasn't entertaining. I mean, because people were on the edge of their chair. But to say that, oh, this is the great one of the I'm not. Don't even do that, because then you disrespecting the trilogies. You can't put it up there with Riddick Bowe. You can't put it up there with Ali Frazier. You can't put it up. Listen, Ibuchi and what's his name? David Tua. That was a great fight. You gonna say that was a better fight than Tua and Ibuchi?
Hey,
No.
I'm not saying you're wrong, DJ. I think when people compare it, I think they compare it just not just the fight, just the outside drama of it too, the storyline.
If it wasn't a black and white fight with the white guy winning, we wouldn't even be talking about this fight.
Great point, because that's a big reason why it was so big too. Whether you want to admit it,
yeah,
it's a big reason.
Okay, you can get that. When I sit down and I settle down and I think about it, and I'm in a moment of thinking about what you're saying, Briz, I could give you that. But to say like, oh, this is I mean, the media wants to hype up these fights now that we have, because they wanna hope on something so bad to be great that they pushing it to be great when it's really not a great thing. It was the sloppiest heavyweight trilogy of all.
What makes it great is the fact that they finally got a white heavyweight champion. after they got their great white height.
I mean, truth be told, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, listen, when I seen that, I think the Cuban. I mean, listen, you got a lot of people. You got the Waz. I mean, everybody don't want to talk about everybody else that's coming up in this division. You got a lot of people. I mean, and truth be told, I think, and if people want to not say this, but mark my words, I think Usyk beats Fury, and he'll help hold the belts for a couple years.
What I tell you?
You said it, but I just think that if Tyson Fury could lean on Usyk, it'll just be a little more.
I think Usyk would be okay. I think Usyk will be okay.
No, I'm not saying y'all wrong. All I'm saying that if Fury used them same tactics,
that's
as far as leaning on him,
I think Fury will win too. For Fury's not going to do it. The Fury's smarter than AJ. AJ tried to outbox the boxer. Once Fury realizes he's not a better boxer than Usyk, he's going to do everything AJ should have did. He's going to lean on him, rough him up.
Yeah,
right. Well, hold on now. Now, D-Rock said Usyk is too small. Yeah. But, hey, they said Holyfield was too small, and Holyfield weathered the storm of the heavyweights and coming into cruiserweight.
I agree, because Usyk don't – if Usyk had the knockout power, like, you got to remember, Fury put on 40 pounds after the weigh-in.
Right.
But this the thing, though. This the thing. Pay attention to Usyk footwork. Like, Usyk has legit footwork. His in and out is crazy.
And he got a lot of inside power as well. Because people don't understand that short uppercut is what rock. That short uppercut, only Roy Jones seen it. The short uppercut is what started the whole chain of events for this guy to go the way he went.
Hey, listen, D-Rock he making the statements too fast, but he's saying anything that I want to say. Like,
me too.
Usyk don't have the power to keep Fury off him.
All right.
I think y'all wrong. I'm telling you, I think Usyk got the goods to beat him.
Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask you a question. Well, you already said it.
I hope y'all right.
Hold on, look. Fury, no Wilder. Well, Fury didn't put Wilder down off of a clean punch. Think I'm lying? Go back and look at it.
The last one.
Nah, he hit him on the side of the head, the rabbit punches.
Wilder was dead. Wilder was dead. Wilder was dead. Wilder walked back to his corner one time, stuck his arm in the air, looked like he was drunk. Like, drink alcohol. Like, nigga.
Right.
The fall, he just couldn't, he just won't do it. Fury ain't hurt him off no clean punch. So to say
it was a lot of punches, and that's why the referee. Right. That's why the referee was talking to him after the fight. Like, yo, you was doing a lot of rabbit punches behind the head.
Let me ask you.
I don't think, but here you go. Here you go. That white privilege, bro.
But look, listen, and this is what I'm a big believer in. A boxer versus a person that's known for power. Because now y'all saying power for Fury, right?
Oh no.
Y'all, I'm saying against Usyk.
No. It's not his power.
It's
not his power. Just his physical size. He would know.
He's gonna make. He's gonna make Fury get out of his comfort zone and have to come for him now.
Right.
So
now,
how is Fury gonna do?
Now
he looks sloppy against Wilder. Keep it 100.
Yeah, he do.
He sloppy. He looks sloppy in a lot of his fights. You gotta go off your own knowledge and not just listen to these commentators, man.
No.
Yeah, but
I hope that you're absolutely right.
His footwork is not that great. His footwork is nowhere near Usyk's footwork.
No, I hope you're right, Coach. If they fight,
I'm on the side with Coach. I think that Usyk, people are doubting the young man, but listen, we both said it, me and you said it, Briz, the first cruiserweight since Holyfield to come up and do what he did. Yeah, I believe that Usyk.
Here's the thing. I still think Fury better than Joshua.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, listen.
So
The only thing I can give.
If I'm comparing Usyk against Joshua, I'm taking Usyk. But if I'm comparing Usyk against Fury, I want Usyk to win. But I just think that he's going to be outweighed and out with the height, the reach, the weight. That's all I'm saying. I hope you're right, because I like Usyk against Fury, but I'm only going with my heart.
You know, our hearts made us choose the wrong girl a lot of times.
My heart made me choose
our hearts made us. Hey, our hearts put one of us to Wilder to win too.
Yeah, hey, I went with my heart with Wilder.
Let me ask you this: for all the way the fight looked, with being so sloppy, all the knockdowns, was there any point in time in the fight where you thought Wilder might finish Fury?
No, I mean, not even when he knocked him down. When he knocked him down, I was like, Wilder knocked him down because he was clubbing Fury with the same punches he was getting hit with. He was getting hit on the side of the head. No. He said, I'm going to hit him on the side of the head.
Wilder caught him with a straight right hand right down the pipe.
You can see the small difference between somebody who grew up boxing, somebody who boxing late. Fury knew when he was hurt, he knew the weight to the count was at 8-9. He knew to get up to go to the white corner. Wilder got hurt, went right up, and just, all right, I'm ready to fight. It's small.
But it was a long count, too. Well, that was a long count. The side of the judges or whoever, when Fury got knocked down, should have been 1, 2. Somebody should have been counting, and nobody was counting.
We said that earlier. It wasn't that, I mean, it was, but Wilder didn't go right to the neutral corner when he knocked Fury out. So it's like he got to tell Wilder to go to the corner, too.
Wilder was dizzy, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's his fault, but he was hurt, so he messed up on his own.
Yeah, that's the thing. But something that Sibbie brought up, like, you're supposed to teach a fighter that if you go down that man start counting, you might well stay down at least till 7. Because just as you pop up on 3, he ain't gonna stop counting.
Because Wilder got knocked down.
8 count. You know, and that's something that you supposed to learn that early. You know what I'm saying? You learn that early. If you ever go down, might well stay down to 7 or 8 because
right.
This is all part of preparation, and that's why people kind of downplay coaching, right? Because everybody want to do it and everybody try to do it, but it takes a lot to be a great coach because it's more than just. It's a lot that you have to teach these fighters, man. Especially nowadays.
That's why I don't want to be a coach.
Fighters aren't coming with the tools that they need to have, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. Mental conditioning as well. Like, people not teaching mental. They're not talking about, the preparation for a fight. Everything got to go off. Focusing. They not teaching that. That's why for me being a trainer in a camp, like, I want to come to a camp and be a link in the chain to bring in what I know, because I know certain things that a lot of people aren't thinking about. But I don't want to be a head trainer because there's too much involved in it. And it's too much involved in being a head trainer because you got to take the brunt of it. Malik Scott got to take the brunt that Wilder still lost. He still got to take that. I don't know how I would fare. I don't know how I would fare.
You know what's crazy? I can't blame Malik Scott because
I see his point though.
Like Jimmy, oh my God, it's killing me to say this.
Good. Let's be real, man. We bloggers and we gotta put it out there.
I said it's killing me to say this, but like Jimmy was right, man. Wilder resorted back to his old ways.
And that's big respect for you to say, Briz. Listen, we all men here, and at the end of the day, we got to keep it real when it comes to boxing. We can't be biased.
No, I'm not.
You know what I'm saying? So that's big. I respect that.
Here's the thing, though. When Sibbie met me, he knew that I wasn't biased because me and T.Y. used to argue all the time. T.Y. was like, Briz, you just don't like Philly fighters. Coach Shaun, you see why I don't like Philly fighters?
Yeah. But it's not Philly fighters.
Name one fighter that we watched. Name one fighter that we watched yesterday that looked like he should have been pro besides Nick.
Hey, but you know what? even when we be at like the Golden Boy cards, Nick will tell you, only person I watch was Blair, because we in the same crew. That's the only one I watch. Other than that, like the dude, what's his name, Mongui, whatever.
Yeah.
I looked at him for a few seconds and I left, walked away. Like, not impressive at all.
So let me ask, what is your
somebody said, what's next for Wilder?
Retirement.
Oh,
what y'all think of the fight overall of each?
What fight?
Like Wilder Fury.
I mean, it was entertaining. That's my opinion. It was entertaining.
I can't say that like, and I because I didn't think it mattered much. Like the work he was doing with the dude Malik, I didn't really see how that was gonna really work. Then when I saw that one sparring partner, I remember it was a picture and I said like, who is this? I remember Sibbie,
he fought an undercard.
Right, but this the thing though, like looking at that sparring partner, I'm looking at the mistake that I saw just from a photo. I'm like, suspect. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't see how dude was gonna help out much. My thing again, I wanted to see him look better defensively because that's his real flaw. It went the way that it was gonna go because if he did knock him out, he wasn't gonna win.
My prediction only thing my prediction was wrong with, I said decision. I said Fury was gonna win an ugly fight with both of them getting out.
Yeah.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Well, my thought about the fight was this, man. I felt that you could see where he wanted to try to change up the thing.
Yeah.
And in the boxing, I felt like when he went to the body, I said okay, but I thought he should have went a double jab. I think he should have do the jab. He didn't come out relaxed. He came out very stiff, like he was still dependent on that one punch, and he was trying to hide it. Overall,
he was emotional.
Overall, when I thought about the fight, I felt that it went the way I knew it was going to go. You want to root for Wilder because you know he's exciting with the knockout. But I knew that Fury was going to do what he was going to do.
But can I say this though?
Go ahead.
Somebody say what's next for Wilder? Should he retire? Whatever. I will say this: if Fury, outside of fighting Fury, I believe Wilder could become heavyweight champ again because them guys don't have what it takes to beat Deontay Wilder.
I said it's two things.
Different.
If assuming Wilder's the same, I don't think he'll be the same. But assuming he is the same, I think Fury just has what Fury.
You do.
I think Usyk.
Yeah, he do.
Usyk has the best chance to be, but other than them two, I think Wilder beats everybody else.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think also, I meant to say this, I think Wilder, when Malik Scott was saying to him, he said, only time you get in court is when you dropping your hands. You keep dropping your hands. And I felt that Wilder abandoned what Malik Scott was saying and decided, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I think Wilder just decided, I'm not going to listen anymore.
Well, it's I mean, you know, well, you've been a fighter, but you know, when you get dig deep down, sometimes it's hard to focus on what the trainer's saying because you got to react to all that punishment coming your way. And then they said,
I don't know, Sib. I can't say that because my trainer know better than me. So if Norfolk is my trainer and he said, yo, you got to keep your hand up, I got to trust that he's telling me to keep that right hand up because he know better than me.
I'm not saying, no, I agree. You're right.
Well,
in the point of view, the coach can tell you everything right, but when you
never like the food, but that's not how that go. You got to start eating stuff.
One in the fight,
so go eat that fish.
To remember everything.
Go ahead, I'm not.
Because no matter what, because a lot of times you're gonna go back to what you know. That's what Wilder did.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's tough. It's a mental. It's all mental, and that's what mental preparedness comes in. When you in the corner, when the trainer's in the corner. I remember I lost a fight really bad because why? I didn't listen. So the next fight, I said, I got to trust what my coach said. And I mentally started to, every time I got in the ring and I sparred, everything my coach told me to do, if he told me to do just jabs around, I do just jabs around. Because I had to mentally get ready to listen to what my coach was saying and get out of my feelings of what I wanted to do.
Sometimes these days, like, your coach can't feel what you're getting hit with neither.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. You got to think, before the Fury fights, Wilder was knocking everybody out. He was knocking everybody out. So then was like, when I'm getting with the same shots and I'm knocking everybody else with, and you're not getting knocked down for most of them, my mind is fucked up now. Like,
right.
And
so
too, like he said, that Tyson Fury gave him, they said busted lip, broken knuckle, broken hand. So I'm like, and then that's on his mind too, along with the punishment he dealing with.
Man, listen, man, that's all. Like I said, man, you in there. Listen, who fought Hopkins, Philly fighter, broken shoulder against Antoine Eccles, still pulled out the win. I can't go with somebody that has. I seen fighters with one arm going in and do what they need to do. Mayweather, top round.
Antoine Eccles is no. He's no top 10. He was no top 10 middleweight.
Well, he made that fight hard for Hopkins though. Yeah, Eccles was a scrappy fighter though.
And
can't take that from him.
And a lot of like if Fury would have listened, because he grew up in the gym. He started boxing when he was about 6, 7.
Right.
Wilder started in his 20s because he had some. He wasn't even looking to be at this level. He was looking to be a journeyman. He said himself.
Right.
So it's all this coming at him at this moment after you just had the hot streak dominating everybody. It's hard to focus on what the trainer said.
Okay. So this is my prediction on what I feel. And what's next for Wilder. And then, I gotta go grab my wife something to eat. So this is how I feel about the whole thing. And a lot of people won't agree with me. But Wilder can take off 2 years. 2 years. No, listen to what I'm saying. People don't understand age. Listen, time preserves you. I don't care what nobody says. People always say, no, time preserves you. And I'm going to say this, because Wilder's a big guy. If he takes off two years, let's say a year and a half. He takes over about 5 to get his mind right. He takes another 5 to develop some of the things that he don't have in his,
5 years?
No, I meant to say months.
Oh.
He takes off 5 months. He takes off the months, right? He mentally gets his mind right. Then he gets back in the gym and he develops the things that he don't have, like a jab, like going to the body, work on his defense. I believe that he will be a new improved Deontay Wilder. If he don't do that, then we have a Deontay Wilder that was. That's what we have a once was.
All right, but let me ask you this, right? How about the guys
coming up
that's young, that's coming up within them 2 years? Where do they fit in that?
I mean, listen, it would be what it would be. I mean, listen, it still would be what it would be. It wouldn't be nothing different. I mean, fighters would be what it is, but I think we get Wilder. Your punch power don't go nowhere.
All right,
I'm gonna be real. If you got it, you got it.
Let me ask you this. So you telling me, so basically, right, you saying that if Floyd came back after taking 2.5 years off, he could beat Earl Spence or he could beat Terrence Crawford?
Hell no.
At this age?
Not now. What age are you talking about if Floyd Mayweather taking off for 2 years or
Wilder 35?
He 36.
Okay, so
36. So when he so hold up. According to your math, he's 36 years old. If he takes 2.5 years off, penning what year, what time of the year he was born. Say like he come back at age 39. You telling me all that you saying?
Nah. I'm going to say he comes back at a solid 38. Let's say 38 in 3 months. I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be all right. I mean, people don't want to. Let me just say, I'm gonna say because I know for myself. Listen, I took off. Listen, after I got hit in my head, I took off 2 years. I came back to the gym. I was a better fighter than I was before.
Are you talking
because I took off the time?
Are you talking as a pro?
I'm talking about as a fighter, not a pro. I'm just talking about in general.
I know, DJ, but who did you?
Okay.
Who was your? Who did you beat? Like, I mean, who was your opponent? Like, all right, say like you had a guy named John Scott, and you just beat him.
Okay.
So took a 2-year layoff, a 2.5-year layoff. To get your mind right and do all that. You came back and beat John Scott?
I came back and beat John Scott.
Why John Scott is currently active.
And that's
John Scott was currently active. But what I'm saying is this. If me and you, if I'm at a amateur level and I came back, if I'm at a pro level and I came back, wherever level you at and you at the top of your game, you know how to get back to what you get back to. I think if Wilder take off, I'm gonna even let's give it a realistic, let's say a year and a half. He takes off a year and a half, he comes back, you say he's 35, he comes back at an early 38. I think Wilder still can be who he is if he takes off the time. Because you can't be that fighter, you can't be a great fighter and then take all his punishment and think you're gonna get back in the ring and do what you do. It's not gonna happen. But he got to reinvent himself.
The thing
I think he peaked.
What if he takes 2 years off and then Tyson Fury has all the belts and then have to fight Tyson Fury again though?
And if he comes in and proves, I think he has a chance to beat Fury. I think he do. I think when you take off that much time and you mentally, let's say you get with the people that's pushing you mentally, physically, and emotionally in the right direction, you literally seeing your improvement in the ring. Like, you throwing double jabs, you throwing hooks to the body, you doing all the stuff that you need to do. I say you come back and you could be a champion again.
And that's also what Wilder just did, because the second fight was February 2020. So he had a new team, new corner, better friendship, and he had kind of improve on everything, and that just didn't work for him. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't, at his age and his level, I just don't think that would be a good idea for him.
Oh no, man. I mean, I feel you. I just really believe that a lot of times a lot of these fighters don't got real people in their corner. And I'm being real. A lot of times when you a millionaire, you ain't got nobody real in your corner to tell you, yo, man, take off the time you need. You need to work on your damn jab. You don't got people to really tell you that.
You're right about that.
I'm
but
being
at the
real.
end of the day, you know what I was talking to Coach about last night? I was talking about like, it's like your neighborhood, right? Like all right, he from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, right? I don't believe that there's a lot of people in his area or his neighborhood that take boxing serious to the point where he can get good sparring and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really, like, he was really like, as opposed to you, DJ, me, I never been to Norfolk before, but I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure that y'all got some wreck out there. Like, we don't like, I don't think Tuscaloosa has a lot of boxers that take it seriously to the point where Deontay Wilder was ever getting good sparring. He was a freak of nature, and he was just like punching on everybody. Because you got to remember, when Wilder first came out, he was a bully. You know, he beat up the white boy that was the fan that said something about his daughter, stuff like that. Right. Now, do you think that we respect what you did after seeing you fight somebody your size and your skill? You never got a chance for that to be exposed. When you go to a gym in Philly, you're not going in there knowing you're going to win. You're not going.
You definitely ain't doing that.
You feel me? I don't know about Newark, but I'm pretty sure that the boxers in Newark, like, don't think they just going in there winning every sparring match or beating everybody up, because dudes is getting better. Dudes is getting better just like you getting better.
Right, and that's why I said there's no win. That's why I always say you ain't. It's no wins or losses in sparring. It's lessons in sparring.
Right, but if you just beating everybody up in sparring, then you ain't learning no lesson.
You ain't learning shit. You need to go. Somebody need to fly your ass out on a plane to go to where the water's at.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why dudes take that. That's why dudes get that Big Bear work and they lead a neighborhood and they go up to Big Bear and all that. Because you got the Mexicans up there that's not letting you punch on them. Boy, they gonna give you all the sparring that you need.
And they're gonna give you hell. They're gonna hit you to your body like you ain't never been hit. They're gonna try to outwork you in the training. When you running up the mountain, they're gonna try to outwork you in everything that you do.
But sometimes, right, but then you got sometimes that can be discouraging to a dude like Wilder. Because if you take him up there, if you would have took him up to like California or Big Bear, right? And it would have been a Mexican dude that was 6'8", and his only job was to work with dudes that's 6'8", and he would have beat the brakes off of Wilder. Wilder would not be who he is or who he thought he was today.
I don't know. It depends on who you got in your camp. Cause Briz, right? The one thing about me is in the gym, when kids are getting their ass whooped, I'm the first one to say, that's all right. We're gonna get back onto this. This what was going on. I'm the guy in the gym that's pushing the kid that's getting their ass whooped.
I know that is fictitious, right? But if you watch the movie, you watch Creed, right?
Right.
When Rocky told him, he said, listen, no, we not doing that. Come on, we're gonna go up here. And he went up there with the Mexicans.
Yeah.
That's realistic. You know what I mean? No, you're not going here and keep fighting these guys, arguing with them, and these guys not beating your ass because they know you the son of Creed. We're going to take you up here where them dudes don't know you and don't give a damn about who you is and see if you like that work. And eventually, you got better. You're not getting better when a dude already know you Deontay Wilder. These dudes
you ain't getting better. You can't get better. How you going to get better when you got people like, oh man, that's Deontay. You right. But that's what I'm saying though. But that's what I'm saying about when you got to have somebody real in your camp that don't give a fuck about your money, don't give a fuck about nothing you got going on. All they care about is keeping it 100 with you and saying the only reason why your ass lost is because you ain't listen or you ain't do this or you ain't do that.
And guess what, DJ? You're fired.
Then I'll be fired. But at least I kept it real with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because what's the name did that? Floyd Mayweather Pop said that to Chad Dawson, remember? He was like, listen, that you keep running to your cell phone every time it rings. You got your kids, you got your baby mom in here doing your sparring. We not doing none of that. And he fired Floyd Mayweather Pop. He fired.
And look what happened to Chad Dawson. Exactly. He was crying in the ring.
Exactly.
Listen, but that's what I'm saying though. But that's a fighter's ego. Because at the end of the day, I'm who I am.
That's all I'm saying. That's how I get in the club. That's how I get, man.
And that's a lot of and that's the reason why a lot of these fighters are where they are. Because guess what? They don't want to keep it real. They don't want to hear the real. Like if somebody told me some stuff, like let's say I went up to a camp, like and I was helping Norfolk out, right? Now he get at me, he said, yo man, you ain't helping my fight out. You doing some bullshit right now, right? I can't take it where I'm so mad that I say, man, fuck all this. I'm getting up out of here. And I don't listen to what he was saying and let it soak in. Because obviously he's telling me that for a reason.
Right, I agree with you.
You get what I'm saying? Like Briz, would you yell at me or would you yell at if any of these guys, we on a cast, all of y'all agree that I did some bullshit and I can't examine myself to know that I did some bullshit later, then I ain't being real with myself because three of y'all both see something I don't.
I was about to say, I know you ain't talking to me because you know I don't give a fuck how people feel when I say
No, but listen, but if I'm real within myself, if I'm real enough to examine myself after all three of y'all done said, yo, DJ, you was wrong, then I got to examine that and I got to say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Let me work on that. That makes you a champion.
That'll make you a good fighter. That'll make you a champion.
That makes you a great fighter because now you listening to what your training and your team saying. You might not like it, but yo, listen, that's what makes it a good fight. You know what? When I heard an interview, you remember Frank Bruno and Fury was talking. He said, when I go up to camp, I don't got my phone, I don't got nothing, I don't got this, I don't got that. I go up there specifically to train. That's why Fury is the champion now, and Wilder not.
No, he's the champion because Wilder just can't beat him.
But you get what I'm saying. Mentally, his mind is in the fight. You got to mentally be in the fight. You can't be mad at your trainer because he's telling you, yo, man, you got to stop talking to your girl. You got 10 hours with me. You got 30 minutes with your girl. We fight for $10 million. We fight for all the unified belts. We ain't got time to be worried about what nobody else saying. We here to win championships.
Let me ask y'all a question. With Wilder being 36, and his last 2 fights is 2 bad losses, stoppage losses, you think retirement's gonna cross his mind?
It should.
It should.
Because like you said, at the end of the day, what are you fighting for if Fury end up having all the belts?
Yeah. Because that chapter's closed. Ain't no point of it.
That chapter's definitely closed. But I would say this. I would say if you're gonna go out, I say give yourself if you're gonna go out and you're gonna go out and retire, I say listen, give yourself 3 fights and say, look, these are the guys I want to fight. If they fight me, they do. But I say give yourself 2 or 3 fights. Give yourself 1 tune-up, and then the rest 3 you go out how you going out, and then leave it there.
Let me say something real quick to people. I want to say something to the people that keep saying, like, I give Wilder a lot of respect because he showed heart and all that. That what we not going to do with this trilogy right here is give out moral victories.
Right. We ain't in that. This not about moral victories.
This not about
he got beat.
He got his ass whipped. He was talking trash. He made $1 billion. And listen, here's me. I wanted Wilder to win. He gave.
I think we all wanted Wilder to win.
He gave $1 million excuses. None of them excuses came to fruition last night. He lost. So I'm not about to give no moral victory. Talking about he showed heart and all that. Every fighter that steps in the ring shows heart. When you climb in that ring and the bell ring, you got the chance to run the hell out the ring, and you just lose. Everybody that's standing there got heart. So this shit Wilder did last night, all he did was show me that Mark Breland cared about him more than Malik Scott. That's what happened to me. That's what I saw last night.
I think
not only that, but then he showed bad sportsmanship by now you're still making excuses. Wilder Fury came over there and tried to say, hey, great fight, whatever, we put on a great show for the I don't respect you. You still cheated. Oh, come on, bro. We can all say that all day, but at the end of the day, that man came, huh?
Is that what Deontay Wilder said?
That's what he said. The Tyson Fury said when I went over to him, he said, "Oh no, I don't respect you. You cheated." And he said, "I don't know what else what more I could do." I went over after the fight and said, "We gave a great show, and you still saying I'm cheating? I can't. I don't know what else to say to you no more." What do you say to that? What do you say after Fury talked all the trash he talked about Malik Scott and still said, we gave a great fight, but you ain't showing me no sportsmanship. Do I still show you sportsmanship? No. I'm going to keep it moving.
Well, Fury even said it. And I told Coach this last night too. I said, I like the fact that what Fury told Deontay Wilder at the press conference. He said, listen, man, you talking about you want to kill me and all that. All I want to do is beat you in a fight.
Fast.
You know what I mean? I don't want, like, you emotional. All I want to do is win the fight. You want to kill me and all that. Like, what's wrong with you? So when you lose, now you look like an idiot.
When Deontay Wilder came out last night, he was emotional. I know y'all always hear me talk about fighters being emotional. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference.
Emotions don't win fights.
To me, it's the difference between being an emotional fighter and being more like having emotion with the fight or fighting with emotion. I'm gonna say like, that jab to the body that he kept trying to throw, for one, it was too low.
The way he was throwing it, you could tell he was looking. He was right hand.
Yeah, Lord. Yeah. You know.
Hey, it's 30 seconds. Briz, I want to ask you this last question because you know more about the heavyweight pass than I do. And what would you rank Tyson Fury on the all-time great list of heavyweights? Honest rank.
I answered already. He's in my top 50.
50 or 15?
50.
Okay.
You got to remember, boxing was like it started in the 1800s.
I'm not going to debate because I don't know the heavyweights in the past like you do. So I just want to know what you was going to say.
Yeah, top 50.
Hey, can I say one thing before we go off?
It's about to end now.